Good morning, guys. Today we're going to read a nonfiction book about exploring flowers. So we're going to learn about the flower part of a plant. So as we're reading this book, we're going to be pointing out and looking for those nonfiction text features, okay? And remember, a nonfiction text feature is something in the book that helps us understand what's going on in the book, okay? So for example, a map is going to help us be a text feature because it's going to show us what something looks like or where to go, like if you're wanting to know where to go. So we're going to be looking for those nonfiction text features. So our story is just called Exploring Flowers, and it's written by Kristen Sterling. Now, this book is actually written for you guys to read. So as I'm reading, I want to see if you can read along with me. So I see flowers. Very good. Now I want you to notice the word flowers. What do you notice about it? That's right, it's bolded, it's bigger, it is darker, so it stands out. Now remember, what we have that when we have that bolded text. So look, if I didn't know what that word flowers was, I can look back and look. Flowers in the glossary will tell me the parts of a plant that grow from a stem and make seeds or fruit. So then I can go back to my page and I can move on to the next page. You guys should be able to read this too. Ready? Flowers are parts of plants. Now, this is another nonfiction text feature. So I want you to look. It's pointing at the different parts and telling me their names. So right here, it's pointing at the roots to show me this is the roots. It's showing me this is the soil. It's pointing to the seedling and the seed and the stem and the leaves and the flower buds. This type of nonfiction text feature is called labeling because you're just labeling all the parts. You're telling us the different parts, so it's important so we know where each part of the part is. Okay. Each plant has a job. Fruits, vegetables, and blossoms grow from flowers to plants. Oh, and look, I have that bolded print again. So if I didn't know what a blossom was, I could go all the way back into the glossary and figure out what it is. Pollen looks like yellow dust, another bolded word, but you can see it's showing you the pollen falling on the petals. And remember, there's something special about pollen. Who helps move pollen around? That's right, bees. In one of our other books, we saw that pollen stick into a bee and going from plant to plant. Pollen makes some seeds grow into plants. Pollen is moved by birds and bugs. Each seed that gets pollen can become a new plant. Small buds grow on the stems of some plants. Blossoms bloom when buds open. Flowers on some plants are the first sign of a fruit or a vegetable. These apples grew from flowers. So if you look at an apple tree, it does these beautiful apple blossoms and the flowers, and then eventually that fruit grows out of that flower. Lilacs are pretty flowers that smell good. People put flowers in their homes. Flowers are in your home, in the park, and all around you. Do you see flowers? And this says all kinds of flowers. So it's showing you how they can look so different. So you have red tulips, blue asters, small bleeding hearts. I wonder why they call it a bleeding heart. Look very carefully. That's right, it's in the shape of a heart, but then it has this part that drops down. Large banana plant, star-shaped pumpkin plant, and a cone-shaped prairie clover. And these are some flower facts. It says roses are the national flower of the United States. Many people buy roses for people they love on Mother's Day and Valentine's Day. Flowers smell good and they are used to make perfumes. Cherry blossoms are pretty and sweet smelling. Cherries grow in from the blossoms. So when you hear the word cherry blossoms, it's because that fruit of a cherry is going to grow in there eventually. Did you know olives grow on trees? Trees flower and then olives grow. The biggest flower is called the Australian mountain ash, and the smallest flower is called the watermill plant. And then here's our glossary. Remember, our glossary is one of those nonfiction text features. So if I come to the word blossoms and it's bolded like that and I don't know what it means, it'll tell me a group of flowers. And then bud is that small growth on a plant stem that changes into a flower. Flowers are the parts of the plant that grow from a stem and make seeds. Pollen are those tiny grains in the flower that look like dust. And a seed is a plant part that can make a new plant. And then this is called the index. And what the index does is it picks those special words, so like blossoms, and it tells you what page you can find that word on. So if you want to learn about blossoms, you can find it on page 5, but you can also find that word on page 11. If you want to look at what a bud is, you can find it on 3 or 10 through 11. So 3 different pages talk about the word bud. Fruits you can find on 5 and 12 through 13. So if you're looking for just a specific word or one word, you can find it in the index. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and show you what you're going to do in Seesaw identifying those nonfiction text features that we found in the book. All right, guys, so when you press add response, this is what you're going to see. And you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 pictures. And these are text features that we had in our story. So all you have to do is go down and use your move tool. And like, for example, this says labeling. And you're just going to put labeling under the picture of labeling. This says photograph because a photograph is something in a nonfiction text feature because it shows you what something looks like. So whichever one you think is just a photograph, you would move under photograph. And then this is the tricky one. We have an index. So if you look at the pictures, there's a clue, and then we have a glossary. Okay, so you'll just move the 4 boxes to match the nonfiction text feature. Okay, all right, you guys did an awesome job. Thank you.